Okay. I'm already, like, when you're in the laugh, like, I'm in laugh mood. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. You had to say that next. Okay. What up, guys? This is Bert K, and I want to talk real quick about the state of the world. And I'm not going to get too deep, but I'm going to just get some stuff across that I think will be very important for you as we go through this journey. So, what it is this. My work is behavior change. How do I get people to change their behaviors to become who they want to be? Speaking of change, there is a process to change, and it ties so much to where we're at with the quarantine. So, here is something to look at. When a person begins some type of new attempt to change, and we'll just use New Year's as a perfect example. It's New Year's, you want to lose weight. You start off with something called uninformed optimism. Okay? You don't know what to expect, but you know that you're going to work really hard to get the result that you want. Time goes by, and you're sore, and you're kicking your butt, but you're not losing weight. You become an informed pessimist because now you feel kind of frustrated, self-critical or critical with your body. You're like, why is it not happening? But as time goes by, you start to get to something called crisis of meaning, where you start to doubt yourself. You start to self-sabotage. You start to find any reason to be able to quit. You take yourself out of the game unconsciously when you begin to self-sabotage. If you can't get past crisis of meaning, you crash and burn and relapse. And this is the story of most people's lives who are trying to change. It's the cycle of excited to kind of negative to hopeless to starting the cycle over again. We have to find a way to break through. And this is how it ties to where we're going through right now. We are trying to be as optimistic as possible in this situation. Hashtag 10 push-up challenge. Everybody's trying to see if they can start book clubs. People are starting to connect on Zoom, which is great. This is good stuff. It needs to happen. But the problem is as time goes by, as the days become weeks, and possibly for some months, we're going to go into informed pessimism. And then we might go into crisis of meaning. And crisis of meaning is just the difficult time of being in isolation. It's hard. It's not easy. If we don't have a structure, then that's where we crash and burn. And crash and burn always means just kind of you've given up hope. You're not trying to blossom. You're almost just turning off and numbing until this is all done. But if we're able to push through, we move to something called informed optimism. And this is the goal. This is what we want out of everything. Informed optimism means you have information. You know how you work. You know how to combat your weaknesses. And at the same time, you have enough tools to be able to change, to be able to grow, to be able to push through these difficult times. Our goal is to provide informed optimism. If we do that, then it's not circumstances that determine whether we're happy or not. Uninformed optimism, it's the circumstance. If things are good, I'm good. If things are bad, I'm bad. Therefore, I'm a slave to everything that's around me. But if we can move to informed optimism, then all of a sudden the power is held within. It is not circumstance outside that determines my inner reality. It's me, and I can find joy in any space because I know how I work, and I've done the research to grow myself, and I've created a structure to be able to create the life that I want to create. This is all possible, but we have to do the work. Now, our job is to move from uninformed optimism to informed optimism. Because if not, we hit the crisis of meaning. So how do we avoid that? My goal is to put out content, real content that's tied to reality. Understanding that when Netflix runs out of its power and the push-up challenges and all the hashtags and all the social media and all the things that we started off really well with, when they kind of find their way down, how are you going to keep yourself afloat? How are you going to keep yourself in a place to where you're blossoming and growing and evolving despite the circumstances around you? Totally possible, but you got to do the work. And you got to be informed. Simple as that. And so that's really what I'm here to do. I'm going to be putting out content, Q&As, webinars, courses. When I feel something, I'm going to put it out. And I'm going to share it with you to provide information that's real to get you to make the changes that you want to make. And it's not about shooting for the stars. It's just sometimes just waking up and getting out of bed and just not being in a kind of numbed out state. That is success just as much as totally changing your life. The spectrum of success is so huge. And if we can change the definition of saying that I have to totally transform to just I want to be better than yesterday, all of us become successful. And that's what we're going to be working at. That's the information that I want to provide to allow you to be the informed optimist. We don't want people falling off the bandwagon. My job is to stand at the side of it and push you back in when you feel like you're falling out. And then as time goes by, I become less valuable. The people in your life become less valuable, and you internally are the one that is pulling yourself back up and keeping yourself focused on what you want. It's going to take time. It's going to take some energy. It's going to take some effort, but it's also going to take information. So that's what I'm going to be providing for you guys. I'm going to send out some information on a webinar that I'll be putting together, and also a Q&A that I'll be putting out this week to just talk about the first and foremost important thing, which is structure. A lot of us live our lives in structure because of work, but now a lot of us aren't really working. So you have to create the structure. But anyways, I'll be throwing more information out as time goes by. Stay strong through this and understand that despite the difficulty, there is an opportunity. Time to go in a little bit. Bring as many people as you can so that they can go into, and that's when you have a true social network that can get you to move to the next level. All right, guys, I'll chat with you in a bit. Did I just Sammy Sosa? Was it? I'm out.